Okay. What do I want to wrap today? I didn't finish that, did I? Okay. Oh, hello. Seems like we've got a couple people who've popped in. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just getting set up to wrap a couple manga. I had a work cancellation this morning, so I've got a little less than an hour, I'd say about 45 minutes, where I was going to fill that with wrapping books, and I figured, oh, why not just pop on here in that case? So here I am. So thanks to everyone who's here. I haven't decided what I'm going to wrap yet today. I grabbed a bunch of manga and just brought them over here, so I've got a lot of random stuff around me. I've already wrapped Hayato's First Arms book. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the chat. These seem to be good timing for you. I'm really happy we get to chat here. My guy, hi. Hi, everyone. Hola. How y'all doing? What's everyone up to? And what time is it in your time zone, right? So for me in Japan right now, it's 9:22 a.m. But I know I got people from all different time zones. So I'd love to hear what time it is for you, what you're up to. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be doing these lives randomly over the next couple months, whenever I have a little bit of time. Hi, Shelly. Because I have to wrap everything for our move. And it's kind of nice to be able to do this while I'm chatting with people. So I'm just going to be randomly popping on lives. There's not really a specific topic for these, but I have also 5 a.m. Good Lord. I'm glad I'm worthy of your time at 5 a.m. Good Lord. Have you been up this long, or are you getting up this early? So yeah, and I've also said in the previous live, and I'll continue to say in the upcoming ones, you can also use this to ask me about my life in Japan if you are curious, because a lot of people had some kind of individualized questions, and that's hard to make pre-recorded content about. So these are also like live Q&A sessions for my life in Japan. And I'm not exactly sure, like I was saying before, what I'm going to be wrapping today. I've started Hayato's Arms series, but I don't know where the rest of that is. So I have to locate that. So that's already wrapped. I've never seen this manga before. Looks like maybe a racing manga. No, it's not racing. Looks like oh yeah, it is a racing one. No wonder I have zero interest in that, but I've wrapped the first one of those. I started wrapping Parasite Seiju. I should be reading the second one. I'm not yet. We'll get there. All right, let me check. Let me catch up on all these comments here. It's my reading an audiobook moment before bed at time moment. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry to intrude on your reading time, but like honored that you'll pop in. Were you doing Lord of the Rings via audio? Is that what you're still doing? I know you finally finished you finished the movies. Let me not put words in your mouth. What audiobook are you doing? Let me just ask you, Sarah. I'm running away from my work at the moment. Relatable. Very relatable. 8:22 p.m. in Eastern California. Just finished work and am unwinding. Well, I'm honored to be part of your unwinding time. 8:22, yeah. Oh, that would be such an easier time zone. I'm on East Coast. My family's on the East Coast. So, yeah. It's 7:30 p.m. We're watching the Super Bowl. Well, my husband is. Right. It's Super Bowl right now. You know, I was going to have a Super Bowl party here. I was thinking to do it because I have a couple friends that actually are interested in American football. And by the time I realized that the time difference would be a Monday morning, everyone would be here now. And I'm like, if people have jobs, like Taylor, that's not going to work. So then I completely forgot the Super Bowl was happening once I didn't have to plan something around it. So who's in it this year? I like football. Like I enjoy the atmosphere and I like watching it and gathering with friends and stuff like that, but I don't like follow it. I don't follow any sports really. I'm really bad at that. So yeah, who made it this year? My work starts at 6, so we're up early. Womp womp. That is an early start, though. I sympathize. Kiseiju number 3, I've wrapped that. Oh, looks like I didn't get to number 4 yet. So I'll wrap Kiseiju to start today. Kiseiju is Parasite. I think there's a K-drama of Parasite now, right? That made it really popular, I feel like. I feel like I've heard rumblings about it recently. But up until that point, it's been Hayato's favorite for years and years and years since it came out. So I had heard about it from him, but I feel like I hear more people talking about it. Is that because there was like an adaptation of some sort? I'm going to move you guys a little bit here because I need space to wrap. Casey was feeling, okay, thank you. Either one are teams that I'm particularly invested in. I say as if I'm super invested anyway, but yeah. Do you guys have one that you're for? Whenever someone mentions LTR, it just makes my day way better. Well, I mean, you're in the right community for that. It gets all the love that it deserves. Right. Okay. So also for those of you who don't know, I'm wrapping everything in plastic for shipping. We're going to have to put the actual books inside another plastic thing, but this is, we're going to be taking the slow route, shipping via boat. It's going to take months. And so this is an extra level of protection for all of our precious words. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing currently. Yep, I finished the movies. To your protest on the method that I'm reading, that problematic writer that should not be mentioned, books, that audiobook narrator or something. Fry is an artist. Parasite the Gray. Ho. Gotcha. I'm not protesting the method at all, Sarah. I think movies are great. I mean, honestly, I think that the Lord of the Rings movies are better than the books. And I don't think that that's a hot take. I think a lot of people agree with that. And yes, Parasite. Okay, the K-drama is set in the same world, but completely different story. Oh, hi, Elise. Thank you for coming by. I see. Right. I think you told me that, Sarah. Leave it to you to know all about the K-drama stuff. But yeah, so then that makes sense why I'm hearing rumblings about Parasite recently. Because I just knew it as Hayato's favorite series for a long time. So there you go, number 4. Nice and safely wrapped. Okay. And yes, I am still using a Christmas market mug for my coffee. It was what was available this morning before taking Serena to nursery school. So this is what we're using. Mornings really are. No, I should be showing you guys the covers. Here's number 5. Kiseiju. I guess I could talk about the premise of this as well before I kind of ramble into something else. So basically, Parasite is about this. Oh, hi, Krista. Welcome. Parasite is about, well, believe it or not, these alien parasites who come down to Earth, and they burrow into a host and then take over the brain. And of course, their host essentially dies in that moment. And then they can take over the body and just inhabit it and do what they want with it. But we follow our main character, Shinichi. There's a parasite that makes a mistake and tries to go in through his ear, which they usually do, to go straight to the brain. But he wakes up and stops it from going in his ear. So it ends up having to go through his arm. And so he does a tourniquet and stops it from getting to his brain. And there's like a period of time within which they have to get to the brain. And so now this parasite is stuck in his arm, his right arm. And they have to kind of figure out what they're going to do because the parasite's like, well, I fucked up. Like now I can't control this body and I don't really know what to do. So they kind of have to learn to coexist, or like what's going to happen here. So that's the premise of Parasite. And that's all I'll say. But that's why it looks like kind of body horror-esque, because when they do take over people's bodies, they view other humans as just like food, in the way that, you know, a lion might view a gazelle as food. So they just like have no qualms with straight up just murdering people. And the bodies get pretty grotesque because they don't know how to look like humans. They don't really know how to act like humans. So that's kind of the premise. And the first book was fantastic. I couldn't put it down. Loved it. 7. Back. I think he's a high school student, as with most manga. I think he's a second year, third year. In Japan, they only have 3 years of high school instead of 4. If for anyone that's from the States, I don't know how other countries do it, but the States has 4, and then Japan has 3 years of middle school, 3 years of high school. So when I say a third year high school student, I mean senior in high school. I think that's what he is. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else does this, but whenever there's a minor inconvenience, I say to myself, what can men do against such reckless hate? Fantastic. I love that. Oh, it's beautiful. I tend to quote, but it is not this day, a lot. So it's like, one day I will get my shit together and make a to-do list before, 9 a.m., but it is not this day. I tend to quote that a lot. But I like the reckless hate quote. I might envelop that into my lexicon. Case in point, other day when my boss asked me to log in out of shift hours, crossing a boundary, unacceptable. Canada is 3 years. Interesting. So I wonder if this is yet another case where the ethnocentric view of America as being we are the center of everything. We think that 4 years is normal, but we're actually like the odd ones out. I wonder. Because, with the whole Fahrenheit, Celsius, metric system, we just have to be special, okay? We have to be. But I didn't know that the height number of years in high school might also be another case of that. I wonder why we do 4. Oh, something to look into. Can we get this in? Okay. So what's everyone reading or consuming, let's say? It's an audio, that's fine. What's everyone taking in at the moment? I am still finishing up Falling in Love with Hominids by Nayla Hopkinson. That was not a well done one. That's all not even. It's a collection of short stories by her. And so far, it's sitting at like a 3.5 maybe. I was blowing through it. And then I ended up slowing down. I don't really know why. I don't really have a reason. I am enjoying it enough to I only have 2 stories left. You know what it is? The story that I'm on is supposed to be, it's part of something called the Borderlands, I think. Well, there's like an intro before each story with her giving some context about it. And she said that this one is part of the Borderlands series, which I think is written by Holly Black and someone else, but it's a collaborative set of stories, it sounds like. And I don't know if they're vampires. I think they're vampires. And so this is set in that world, but she's doing her own Caribbean twist on it, I think. And I guess because I don't really know the world, there were a lot of names and places and stuff where I was like, what's going on here? So I think that's why I slowed down, if I really think about it, because that's the story where I stopped. And there's one more after. I guess I could just skip it. if it's really confusing me. I think I'm a couple pages in. That's one of the reasons why this is like a 3.5 so far, because I really like speculative fiction, especially short fiction. Like, you don't have to give me all the answers, but I feel like I'm lost for over half of almost all of her stories. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on in the short. Let's say the short story is like 5 pages. I'm lost for like 3. I'm like, it feels, if I was lost for 1 or 2, you know, but I feel like it takes me too long to really figure out, for her to let me know what's going on. So that's part of my reaction to the collection. I guess I could just skip this story, you know, it's a free world. Figure that out. But that's what I'm doing right now. And I don't have an audiobook going. Still haven't picked up Wind and Truth. Of course I haven't. The vlog, though, the vlog is pretty much done. There's a copyright issue, which I thought might happen. I finally exported it. I'm so excited to get this to you guys because I really like the editing. But one of my favorite edits, I was like, this might have a copyright issue. And it does. So now I have to go through, take out that edit, and re-upload it. I might just mute that section rather than going back in and having to re-export it just in case it doesn't want to export again. So there might just be a random little muted section. But it's one of those things where, like, I feel like as a creator, I'll notice, but as a viewer, you might not notice that part. But yeah, but it exported. Thank God. My export names were getting very unhinged at this point. So yeah, I'm going to have that out for you guys. But so I did all that reading for the vlogs to catch up, and then I haven't picked up Wind and Truth, but tale as old as time at this point. Oh my God, hi, Tammy. Thanks for stopping by. Just a random live while I wrap my books for being shipped. There's like plastic around this, so just chatting while I do that. Well, I guess I'm not really doing that right now, am I? I'm just chatting. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Saying hi. It's 4, 5, or 6 years, depending on the kind of school you go to. Oh, okay. At 12, based on your tests. We start school at 4. Interesting. So depending on if you get into a trade or what you want your future career to be, Sarah? Very fascinating. I'm almost finished with The Daughter's War by Christopher Buehlman. Ah, it's so good. Wait, I know that one. That's a sequel, right? To Blackstone Heart. Am I talking out of my ass? I feel like that's the case. What's good about it? What are you enjoying about it? My book club picked Better Than the Movies book by Lynn Painter. Never heard of that before. Is it a nonfiction? And I'm still heading through Ordinary Monsters, but the reason I'm not reading is because I'm speeding through the end of Ashenstone. Woo! Speeding through. I love the sound of that. Means we're going to get it quickly. So trying to balance reading and writing, yeah. I'm also reading a short story collection. Oh, Salt Slow by Julia Armfield. I haven't heard of that one. What's like the concept? Does it have a concept? What's the vibe of the short story collection? I'm almost done The Failures by Benjamin Lyer. It's confusing as fuck, but good. This is interesting to me. These are all books that I don't know about. Tell me more. Thank the Heavens. Oh, like the school that you can choose? I mean, that makes sense. Failing to balance. Well, you know, A for effort, right? Let me wrap another book. Y'all distracted me. Here is 6. In the back. He still has the stickers from when he bought these. 250 円. 250. Not bad. That is something that is going to be just like painful for me to witness, is how expensive manga is going to be when I get back to the States. I'm going to be like $10. $10 for one. You have lost your mind. I know you got to pay your translators. I know. That markup is wild. From $2.50 to $10. I think the heavens in reference to that damn vlog finally uploading. Yes, Sarah. Yes. When it happened, I nearly cried. I have been trying to get that vlog to export for nigh on three weeks. Like my export names were just like me screaming at that point. It was just a bunch of you know. So, and what I did was something that like someone made a YouTube video and they were like, look, I don't know why this works, but this seems to work. And I tried it and it worked and no one knows why. I'm like, Adobe, get your shit together. I mean, your system should not just be like, I don't know why this works, but it works. That's like the solution for half the things on that software, I swear. What? Manga's $15 and absolutely not. What? Those translators must be getting paid well, or there is some overhead that should not be there. No. It's a crime. It's been 84 years. That's what it feels like. It really does. I think the Lynn Painter book is a rom-com fiction. Ooh. I'm into rom-coms. I dig that. I think The Daughter's War is the prequel to The Black-Tongued Thief. Okay, so it's not Blackstone Heart. It's Black-Tongued Thief. I always get those two mixed up, but I know the cover. I know that one. Okay. Which I haven't read yet. I love the main character a lot. It has goblins, which are terrifying, and giant corvids. Oh, wait, you're selling this, though. Because I've eyed up The Black-Tongued Thief forever. You know, when you have those books, as soon as you see the cover, you're interested, but it just never gets to be on your priority TBR for reasons you can't explain. Like, that's kind of what that book has been for me. But terrifying goblins is rare, and I'm interested. Like, I'm very much... Consider me intrigued. And if you're not having an issue reading the prequel first, maybe I could follow suit with that. Thanks for the little kick in the butt. Check that out. Okay, where was I? After feeling the bad body horror. So Tammy says body horror, lesbian, feminist, speculative fiction. Wait, but I feel like this has been a thing. We were talking about this. The Only Good Book Club and patrons, we were both talking about this. The fact that there's so much like lesbian cannibalism feminist literature out there right now. Like, I'm down for it. It's just a very niche thing to be exploding right now. Not really, actually. If you think about all of the things there are to be angry about, you know, it's an outlet to get that anger out there. So actually, it's not really strange if I think about it. But I've seen so much of that kind of speculative fiction recently. Lots of body horror, lesbians, and cannibalism. It's a vibe. A test of learning style, ability, and aptitude. That is a word, Sarah. Yes. Where was I? I'm bouncing all around here, aren't I? Okay, hold on. Taylor and Tech Issues is a part of the lore now. I wish it wasn't, but you're not wrong. The sad part is translators get paid pennies. Then what overhead is that bullshit mock-up going to? Because 15? 10 even. No. Hardcovers are 40. Y'all, it's too early for me to be going through these stages of anger. 40? That's a special edition right there. That is not a standard hardcover. Publishing has lost its mind. I mean, we all knew that, but still, good Lord. Overhead for sure. Everything is more expensive for us. Yeah. Woo. Overhead and hi dropping in to like and research some history. Hi, Margaret. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, overhead, right? Catch all for whatever they need. Nowadays, hardcovers are 50. You are kidding me. Shelly, you're kidding. That's highway robbery. That's like more than my family going out to eat. All of us, including Sumide, for sushi here. That's what that is. That's crazy. How do y'all even have books on your shelves? Oh my God. An anger outlet. Yeah. I think it is. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're seeing a lot of that come out and a lot of people read it. So this is 8. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other books that have that vibe. I haven't read it, but Sarah, you had recommended I Who Had Never Known Men. I feel like that's one of those. That's also in that section. I will go hungry for books. Relatable. Yeah, I've had a couple friends be like, why are you wrapping every individual book? Isn't that a lot of work? And I'm like, you know how much money has been amassed in this collection? I can't be willy-nilly with it no more. I really, really can't. We go into massive debt. The true pillars of the book community. Canadians willing to go in debt for $50 hardcovers. Y'all deserve more credit. This is 9. Looking a little iffy there, Shinichi. I guess that might not be him. His hair is a different color. But I've got about maybe 10, 15 more minutes until I got to go to get ready for my next client. Look at me. That was a real smooth one, guys. Getting better at this. After doing all the manga, I have to figure out which ones of my books these sizes can fit. Definitely can't fit the big hardcovers, but some of my paperbacks might be able to fit in here. Okay. Oh, no, come back. Okay. Skip the Blue Book of Nebo. There's a trigger warnings I don't think you'll be okay with. You know me well, Sarah. I'm going to take that on board. Listen to the warnings, people who know you in that case. Yeah, there's just, there are things that have always bothered me, like animal abuse, any kind of animal torture. Never been able to handle it. Human torture, bring it on. Animal torture, never been able to do it. And, ever since becoming a mom, there's just kids stuff. I just can't. There's a lot that I just can't do anymore in that realm. So, just why Crystal's books destroy me. But I have had reassurances that there's one particular character that Crystal claims that she will not touch. And that gives me the strength to push forward. No, I would read it anyway, but it does give me a measure of comfort knowing that. So since I've never read manga, which is a good entry point to get into? Ooh, this is a good question. I like this. As with all recommendations, it depends on kind of what you're in the mood for and some of the other base things you like. Sorry, not sorry for book 3. Crystal! Oh my gosh, my heart's not ready. So, with all recommendations that come with caveats, and people in the comments, feel free to give your recommendations as well, because I know there are a lot of manga readers here. Oh, this is 10. Deceptively normal looking. Manga is interesting because it has its own things that look crazy when you start reading it. Like when you first watch anime, there's a lot of screaming. Like, and at first you're like, this is cheesy, what's going on, right? But then you adjust. So there are some of those things like that in manga as well. Crystal's books destroyed me too, but I'm not mad about it. Yeah, I had to take the second one. It took me forever to read that book because it was hitting me so hard. But yeah, I'm not really mad about it either because they're so well written. But, what would you recommend for starting manga? Basically, does sci-fi get into the manga world? Or yes. Basically, because I basically had Saga Volume 1. Okay. So that's okay. Thank you for the baseline there. There are tons of sci-fi manga. There is manga for literally everything. Okay. When we were getting our snake, Hayata started reading a whole bunch of mangas about taking care of reptiles because those exist. There's cooking mangas. There's mangas that teach you how to do your. I think I've seen one teaching you how to do your taxes or something like that. Like there's manga about literally everything. Okay, so don't worry about that. When it comes to some of the biggies, though, if you want to be able to jump into kind of the zeitgeist, the culture, some of the real big ones would be, of course, One Piece. It's seeing a huge renaissance recently in the West. And there was a live action that got a lot of praise, but I'm recommending this from like the angle of popularity. I haven't read it or watched it. Hayata does not like it, but a lot of people love it. And so I think that could definitely. Oh, cooking mangas? Yes. Oh my God, there's so many of them. Why can't I think of any? One of them is Food Wars. Hayato's read a whole bunch of them. Being, a chef, he loves those. So what I'll do actually, let me get recommendations from him. That might be a good one. And I'll have those in the comments down below after this. That's what I'll do. I haven't read so many of them myself, but he's like always reading those. Fullmetal Alchemist is another really good one. It's popular. I've only read the first 2 manga, I think, or I watched a little bit of the anime. That's what I did. I watched some of the anime, and it is fantastic. That's about 2 brothers who lose their mom and try to use alchemy to bring her back, and things go awry. It's got a lot of found family to it, which is, I've heard from a lot of people, is fantastic. Saga is not considered manga. It's considered, I don't think anyway. I think it's considered comics. But, I mean, it's just semantics at that point. I second Full Metal. Yeah, Full Metal's great. What would I recommend? Why am I blanking? Of course, I've forgotten every manga I've ever read as soon as you say that. Monster's fantastic, but it's not something I would recommend. Maybe some other manga first. Not that it's hard to comprehend, but that it's not like how do I say? The art isn't like a spectacle like it can be with others. So if you want to kind of get into that, this isn't the best. But the story of Monster is fantastic. If you want something dark, Berserk is really popular. But that one's like really, really dark. So like gird your loins kind of thing. What else is big? From when I was younger and more into manga than I am now. Still am, but was reading it nonstop. Bleach was a big one. There was also Inuyasha, which I loved. That's got a really good found family aspect to it. It's also isekai, kind of, where the main character Kagome goes down this well and gets transported back to like feudal era Japan, and she can like go back and forth between the two. It's got a lot of the anime or manga tropes, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I really loved Inuyasha. God, now that makes me want to like watch it again or read it again. I wish this was Halloween so I could ask for like a Japanese 1600 spooky setting. Oh, I've heard of Bleach. Yeah, Bleach is huge. Another one, I guess I haven't read a lot of the really big ones because I haven't read that one. Naruto is also a huge one at the same time as Bleach. Haven't read that one either. But I'm recommending all of these based on the fact that if you read them and you like them, there will definitely be a fandom and a culture to really get into. Inuyasha. Yes, I have a second for Inuyasha. I love that series. It's so close to my heart. That and Fruits Basket, like Ray Earth, maybe. Those 3 like changed my brain chemistry. Yes, Fruits Basket is another one. I haven't gotten into shoujo yet in this conversation, really. Shoujo is the manga geared towards younger girls, where shonen is the manga geared towards younger guys. Younger is, you can read whatever you want, but it does help you kind of categorize the tropes that you might be working with. For example, shonen is, in my experience, absolute ass is setting up characters in the beginning, because the whole point is like getting into the action, and then the characters can get really interesting and fully developed later. But like an example of this would be Hunter x Hunter. Hayata thinks I'm going to absolutely love that series because he's like, later the magic system and the character work is fantastic later, but the beginning is rough for me because the whole point is to get this little boy on his adventure. And so he's like, he finds out that he's been taking care of someone that he thought was his family, but isn't actually his family, and his parents like left him and abandoned him, and he's like, oh, that sucks. Well, time to go on an adventure. And I'm like, good God. Because they just have to get him from point A to point B. But according to Hayato, I'm going to like it later, and I trust him on that. So that's kind of like a trope that you might know, that you might be dealing with that kind of character work if you're reading shonen or something. So anyway, so shoujo tends to be more character-based and slice of life. And so Fruits Basket is one of the best shoujo manga ever. It's so good. Found family. Beautiful. Inuyasha, you made your choice. Yay! I hope you enjoy it. It's like, I think it's a really good mix of an interesting, fun story and good character work, but also having the ridiculousness like that a lot of anime and manga has. It's like that wouldn't happen, or that's ridiculous, but it's fun at the same time, right? So I think it's a good balance. Could get you into that. Rayearth, yes. Yes, Rayearth. Oh my God. I wanted to be those girls. When I think back on it, I don't think the story was that fantastic. Like, I can't really remember some of the main plot beats of the story, but it was pretty, and it was magical girls, a team of magical girls, and I wanted to be them so badly. I really did. With all their different swords that match their personalities. Oh my God. Yeah. So that was a lot of information to give you about anime, or not anime. Well, I guess anime if you want, and manga up front, but it's a really deep, wide, varied world. And if you do end up reading Inuyasha and you're like, this isn't for me, that's fine. Then you know some stuff that you don't like. But there is absolutely something for everyone in that world if you're willing to try different things. It wasn't, and there was a weird age gap, but I loved it. Yeah, the age gap was there too, right? I can't remember anyone's name, but the fire girl from that trio, the prince was a little bit older than her. Remember that now. Yeah. Why do we like that so much? Also, this is very random, but I was really into the band Trapped. I don't know if you've heard of them. Oh, I just ripped it. Darn it. That's good enough. I was really into the band Trapped. I was reading Rayearth, which is like heavy rock. And as I was listening through that album while reading it, and they don't match at all, but every time I hear Trapped, I think of Rayearth and vice versa. Please look up that band. Their most famous song is Headstrong, but I had like that whole album that Headstrong is on. It was like, it's one of those things where like I created an association that makes no sense, but it's there now. It's absolutely there. I just started the anime for that time I got reincarnated as slime, and I loved it. That's news to me. I'm assuming it's based on a manga, maybe? There's a lot of like reincarnated isekai going on right now. I wonder if it's, again, a reflection of people trying to run away, cannibalistic feminist literature, channeling female rage, correct female rage, and isekai and being reincarnated, trying to run away from this timeline. I wonder if that's connected here. I'm not telling you guys what I'm doing. I am wrapping Monster. I mentioned in the previous live, but I'll just mention again that I'm slowly collecting these from used bookstores. So this is volume 5. I think I have the first one in English, which is in the States, and then I have 2, 3, and 5 in Japanese. So They look the same on the outside anyway. So here's two. These are like the special edition ones. And this was like, this is heavy cardstock paper, like full color inserts, right? And this was $3.50. This would easily be like $15, $20 in the States. God forbid, I shudder to think what it would be in Canada. So what I'm hearing is I should get these all before I leave. I should make that a goal of mine. That's what I'm realizing. It might be cheaper to ship it than it would be to buy it over there at this rate in that case. So I got about 5 more minutes, guys. I think I can finish this. I have 2 other. I think I can finish what's here. Come on. Should I take the sticker off? Yeah, there's no reason to have this price sticker on here. It's silly. It's silly. Gosh, now I have such a longing to like rewatch Inuyasha. Y'all remember when they had those like they had like movies, like one-off movies? The one with the mirror, whatever that one's called. I watched that so many times. So many times. I think it had like Kaguya. I think Kaguya was the enemy in that one. Hi, Alan. I gotta run. Okay, Shelly, thank you for coming. please go listen to Trapped and then let me know how much that does not match Rayearth, okay? I would love to hear your reaction to that. Hi, Alan. Yes, it's Monster. So what I am doing is currently, I'm going to be doing these lives periodically, randomly, because I'm wrapping my books for shipping. And so right now I'm tackling the manga that we have. So this is Monster Volume 2. I was saying to everyone, I have the first one in English, and then I've been slowly collecting the Japanese ones. So I have from like secondhand bookstores, from Book Off. So I have 2, 3, and 5 right now. And before we move, just hearing everyone talk about prices for manga in the States and in Canada, I'm going to really make it a priority to find the rest of these before we move, because this is like a nice edition, and it's only like $3, $3.50 here. So I'm not comfortable with the price tag going up to like $15 to $20. So that's what we were talking about. You should leave the stickers on as a sweet, sweet memory of a time in your life when manga was cheap to buy. True. Might end up being torture at that point, but then I can prove to people I'm not lying, right? I'm not making this up. Come on. Getting it in this sleeve is the hardest part. I am so bad at this. Please don't rip. Ooh, and we're in. No ripping that time. Fantastic. Please don't take that out of context. I just realized that the sentences would sound real weird. Monster is so good, but I watched the anime, never read the manga. It's only $3.50 there. Wild. I know, right, Ellen? Like, I'm so used to that price tag. I'm going to have such reverse cultural shock when I go back. You know, I've never seen the anime, but I've said this a couple times on my channel, but I'll just repeat it here for knowledge, general knowledge. But I read this when I was way too young to be reading this. I was like in middle school or something, and I read the first couple, and I was like, the pictures aren't pretty. It's all right. Like I wasn't in the right mindset to be reading that story, and I picked it back up last year, yeah, and am loving it. And I imagine the anime is also really good. So now I have Fruits Basket, another number 2. Oh, I'm in the process of reading number 2. That's why I don't have it. So I've talked about this a couple times on my channel, which is the fact that this is like a carbon copy of Fruits Basket, just with like slightly different characters, but it's by the same author. It's basically like I think it's probably like fan service for people who were really missing Fruits Basket. And so I just forgot the name of the author. Natsuki Takaya. She wrote this as a webcomic, and people loved it enough that it got printed. But like, it's enough of a carbon copy that like, this is not Toru and this is not Kyo. Which is wild. But she's so good at what she does that I don't care. Okay? She's so good at it. Give me more of it, you know? My wife loves Fruits Basket. She has taste, Alan. Okay? Fruits Basket, I will die on this hill. One of the best shoujo mangas to ever exist. This is my second time saying it in this live, so that's how much I like it. Some of the best found family work I have ever witnessed. It changed my brain chemistry. So your wife has taste. And if she wants something to read after she finishes it and she's crushed and can't go back to the world, this does exist, which is like a reset, basically, for fans. The art in the manga is better to me than the one in the anime. Yes, I agree with that. Oh, you mean like in Monster? In Monster or Fruits Basket? Well, I agree with both, but the anime is so good. Oh, the cop's voice is great. Ooh. All right, I'm going to wrap these two, and then I've got to get ready for work, y'all. So recently we've been doing a lot of manga and anime talk because that's what I'm wrapping. And I do have some manga still to get through. But in the future, we will be talking also about English books. Don't worry. For those of you who don't read manga or watch anime, it just happens to be the topic because that's what I'm wrapping at the moment. But this is bringing me down memory lane, making me want to. I think I really might watch some Inuyasha tonight instead of reading, which I should be doing. But okay, let me do this last one. And I have a couple other ones here that I was hoping to get to. I don't think I'm going to, but I have these random Kingdom Hearts mangas that I got. What are these? These are 1, 4, and 5. And I think I got these from like my host sister. So I'm still friends with the people with my host family from high school. And we don't see each other frequently, but when we do see each other, it's like no time has passed. Like we still really care about each other. And I think I borrowed these from her. And she was like, just keep them. I feel like she said, just keep them. I should confirm with her. I'm pretty sure she said that, which is why I still have them, because I am not a book stealer. I hate when people do that to me, so I'm not going to do that to her. I hope I just do that. But yeah, so like this is like the manga version of Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 2, obviously, because that's, yeah. Oh my God, why did I just forget his name? Sora and his alternative. Roxas. There we go. So it's definitely the second one. Did you see any Rakugo while you were there? No. Fortunately. And then these are also Hayato's. Rokudenai Blues. No idea. This looks like very, very 90s manga, though. I don't know. Is it? I think it's a fight. Oh, it's like a Yakuza manga, I think. Yeah. Look at those hairstyles. Absolutely 90s Yakuza. Interesting. Yeah, like the half of this book is people punching each other. Huh. Bet you it's got some good comedy, though. These usually have really good contrasted comedy, this style. But yeah, I guess I'll have to wrap these two. So those are the ones that I had nearby. Let me finish wrapping Fruits Basket another, and then I'll get back to that next time. Hello, just popping my head in to say hi. Hi, Meg. Thank you for stopping by. I'm actually about to close this out. Excuse me, because I have work soon. But I really appreciate you coming in to say hi. I'm going to be doing these randomly at completely, random times throughout the next couple months. I also want to put this out there that if you haven't been to the lives before, another thing I'm using these for is for Q&A about my life in Japan. A lot of people had questions about it, but the questions that they had were kind of specific and hard to create pre-recorded content about. So I'm also using these lives as like a live Q&A session. If you have any questions about my life here, if you want to know about moving, if you want to know about, I don't know, anything, that's also what these are for. So Have good work, Taylor. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, I had a cancellation this morning. So I suddenly had some time to do this. But yeah, I'm going to have to go soon to get back to work. You're welcome. Glad I could stop in on a random live. Hopefully you have a good day at work. Thank you, guys. Yeah. It's nice to be able to pop on here. The time difference means it's got to be in the morning or at night, right? I can't do it in the afternoon because everyone else is asleep. Because my audience is almost all English speakers, right? So I want to move to Japan because I hate it here and I love Fukuoka. Listen, Alan, my life choices. Look, these are group chat conversations, which we can certainly have. These are private chat conversations, like my thoughts right now. Haven't completely processed what's happening. But there's some regret that I'm feeling because I absolutely love Fukuoka. And the things I'm seeing, we put so much time and effort and money into getting that visa for Hayato. And it's like, yeah, I'll stop myself there. Like I said, group chat thoughts. But yeah, wouldn't blame you. This place isn't perfect. Don't get me wrong. We can get into that too. Things that suck about Japan. We can talk about that too. But I wouldn't blame you. Would not blame you. Send me a Discord. Yeah, we'll chat. But okay, everyone, thank you so much for coming. I'd rather be here than work, but I gotta work. So I hope everyone has a fantastic night, whatever you're reading, whatever you're doing, whatever you're watching. And I'm sure I'll see you guys hopefully this weekend. I hope to do another one of these lives this weekend and do it for longer, right? So we can just hang out. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Thanks for stopping by.